Ratangarh Harishchandragad trekking is one of the longest treks in Maharashtra. This trek passes through dense forest, summits many mountain peaks, and crosses several waterfalls and rivers. The lush green mountains and meadows on the way will enthrall any traveler. During this trek, you can also explore the lifestyle in the remote villages of Maharashtra like Ratanwadi, Kumshet, Pethechiwadi, Pachnai, and Khireshwar. This is the 6th day of Maharashtra Monsoon Trekking series. Today, we are going to travel from Kumshet village to Harishchandragad. Kumshet. It is a tribal village in a foothill between Ratangarh and Harishchandragad. A small village with a few houses scattered here and there. Most of the houses are hut and they are covered with plastic sheets. But the view from this village is awesome. A lot of lush green mountains around the village. This is a morning from this village. Yesterday afternoon, we started trekking from Ratangarh Fort, descended many mountains, crossed a dense forest and reached here in the evening. This village is part of Kumshet Gram Panchayat, which is the least populated panchayat in Maharashtra. There are only less than 200 houses in this panchayat. We had dinner and breakfast from the panchayat president's house. This is a newly constructed forest office in this village, and we stayed inside the office yesterday night. When I came out in the morning, it was raining here. The weather was worse yesterday also, and we lost a lot of scenery while climbing down the mountain. Let's hope the rain will stop after some time. It is around 8 o'clock now, and we are going to start trekking from Kumshet village. First we have to reach the end of this plateau, then we have to descend from this plateau, cross a river flowing over there, and then climb to Pethechiwadi village. From there, another 7-kilometer walk will take us to Pachnai village, which is the base village for Harishchandragad trekking. We have to climb one more hill to reach Harishchandragad. Let's try to reach Harishchandragad by evening and stay overnight on the top. This is the plan for the day. The whole plateau is filled with green grasses, and we can see a lot of cattle over here. These cattle are the main livelihood for these villagers. This is a milestone showing the directions to different villages. The distance from here to Samrat village and Pachnai village are engraved on it. Centuries back, these paths are widely used by traders and villagers. The river flowing down the valley is Mula river. There are a lot of hills and plateaus beyond this river and a few waterfalls here and there over the mountain. Now we are going to descend this plateau and then cross the river to reach Pethechiwadi village. We are descending the plateau now. We have to cross a small forest while moving down here to reach the river bank. A lot of small trees around us. All the leaves are wet. This forest and the nearby mountains are part of the Kalsubai Harishchandragad Wildlife Sanctuary. In shady areas on the tree, a lot of moss is growing. Different types of mushroom can be seen on the ground as well as on the decaying tree trunks on the way. A few wildflowers are also bloomed here. We can see more wildflowers on Harishchandragad. Now we have descended the plateau and reached the river bank. There is a small stream that joins with the river here. The water is crystal clear and we can see bottom of the river. We don't know where to cross the river exactly and we can't find anyone around here. So let's cross this small stream first and then walk along the river till we find a better place to cross the bigger one. After crossing the small stream, we are now walking along the river bank. It's a beautiful valley around here. Many lush green mountains and hills. Several patios in the valley and rivers are flowing around them. These views will blow any nature lover. We took some breaks near the river, enjoying the surroundings. The name of this river is Mula river, and the river originates from these mountain ranges only. The river flows across many mountains and hills in this wildlife sanctuary, and it reaches Mula Dam in Dahur near Ahmednagar. The dam is the primary source of drinking water for Ahmednagar. The water flowing out of the dam merges with Pravara river at Navasa. Pravara river is the major tributary of Godavari river. We have seen the origin of the Pravara river in the past few days. After walking a kilometer along the river bank, we reached a point where the current is slow. Few stones are kept here to reduce the water flow. Let's cross the river over these stones. Our shoes are already wet in the rain. Otherwise, it is better to remove the shoes before getting into the water. However, we must be careful not to cut our feet with the sharp stones in the river. Now we have crossed the river. Let's wait here some time to dry our shoes and socks. After leaving the Bari village near Kalsubai Peak, we have to take in a bath. So let's take a bath in the river and wash our sweaty dress before moving to the Pethechiwadi village. We have seen many cattle herders along the river. They are using some type of sack to protect from the rain. पाचना कैसे चलेगा? और ये रास्ता किधर जा रहा हो? पाचना जा नहीं सकता हूँ? ये क्या है? इधर मछली है? कौन सा मछली है? घाट. Let's keep moving on. We have to climb this hill to reach the Pethechiwadi village. From here we can see the river banks where we came from. Now I notice there is a settlement on the other side of the river. I doubt whether the Pethechiwadi village is this one. The children we saw earlier said that if we climb a little from here, we can reach Pethechiwadi village and then to Pachnai. So let's climb the hill and check it out. After a 10-minute walk from the river, we now reach the Pethechiwadi village. This is also a tribal village, a small village with less than 20 houses. Most of the houses are made of mud and they have thatched roofs. There are many undeveloped villages in these hill ranges, and we have to trek hours to reach most of these villages. The only concrete building in this village is this Anganwadi. Today, health workers are distributing some medicines here for children, and the villagers are waiting for them. Look at the view from the Pethechiwadi village. The village is surrounded by huge mountains and rocky pinnacles. The mountain peaks are already covered by thick mist. The houses in the village are situated over bare rocks. Even though they do farming here where the soil is available. In the monsoon, rice is cultivated in these fields. But once the monsoon is over, these lands will dry up quickly. Then they will graze their cattle all over the mountains. After exploring Pethechiwadi village, we are now moving towards Pachnai village. From here, we have to walk around 7 kilometers to reach Pachnai village and then a few kilometers to Harishchandragad. Let's hope we can reach Harishchandragad before dark. From Pethechiwadi village, this road goes to Rajur town via Pachnai village. But there is no bus service or public transportation facilities to this village. So to go to the town, the villages depends on the trucks and tractors coming here to collect the goods and vegetables from these lands. We got a ride on a bike after halfway to Pachnai village. This road passes at the foothill of a big mountain with a lot of steep rocky faces. We can see parts of the Kaladgad mountain on the way. Also, there is a lot of waterfalls in these mountains. We reached Pachnai village around 3:30 in the evening. It's a small village in a plain between the Harishchandragad mountain falls. A lot of steep rocky faces around the village and we can see many waterfalls flowing down from these rocky faces. That's how the village got the name Pachnai. The name means 5 waterfalls. From the village we can see 5 big waterfalls. This Pachnai is the primary base village for Harishchandragad trekking. Also, there are few more base villages on the other side of the mountain. But what makes the Pachnai village famous is we can reach Harishchandragad by a 3-kilometer trekking from the village. Also, the village is well connected to Rajur town. That's why most of the travelers start trekking from this village. The villages also provide food and shelter for trekkers in the village as well as on the top of the mountain. Houses in the village are scattered all over this plain, but the houses are better than what we have seen earlier in the Pethechiwadi village. Most of the rural villages in Maharashtra are like this only. These pictures clearly show how life in rural villages moves on compared to Mumbai and other cities in the state. This is a Krishi Bhavan in this village and a primary school is nearby. But the view from the village is spectacular. Many mountains and plains around the village and a small stream flows across them. We had lunch from a hotel in the village and now we are climbing towards Harishchandragad. Like Pachnai village, the other 2 famous base villages are Khireshwar and Belpada. There are 3 different trekking routes from Belpada village itself. These 3 routes are called Nalichi Vaat, Makadnal and Sadhale ghat, and trekking on these routes are quite adventurous. We have to climb many rock patches while trekking through these routes. We may have to use rock climbing accessories like carabines and ropes to climb at some places. Also, following these routes in the monsoon is very dangerous. Rock and stones will be moving down the path with the water when it rains here. The best trekking route for beginners is the one starting from the Pachnai village. There are no adventurous patches on this route. Also, iron ladders are installed in the steep areas on the way up. From Pachnai village, we can easily reach Harishchandragad compared to other routes. But The challenge here is reaching the Pachnai village on time. The village is around 27 kilometers away from Rajur town, and it is very hard to find a shared jeep from Rajur to this village. The Rajur town is also around 46 kilometers from Gauti town, which we have seen a few days back. And if you are starting from Mumbai, another 100 kilometers of traveling either in the train or in the bus to reach Gauti town. In short, it will take a day to reach the Pachnai village from Mumbai by public transport. Therefore, most of the travelers from Mumbai and Pune start trekking from Khireshwar village near Ghat. From Khireshwar village, we can reach Harishchandragad by trekking around 7 kilometers. This route is a little bit hard and adventurous. However, we can reach this village easily by a 5-kilometer walk from Kubbi Fata on Kalyan Ahmednagar highway. The Kubbi Fata is well connected to Mumbai via Kalyan and Pune via Junnar by bus. Tomorrow, we are planning to descend the Harishchandragad through Khireshwar village. At this point, the path is through the bottom of a big steep rock. Water drops are falling down from the rock. Also, there are many tea shops here waiting for the trekkers climbing up the hill. Maggi, biscuits and lemon juice are available here. Here, the rock is carved to make space for these shops. Someone is going to make a new shop here soon. After a short walk, we came across a big waterfall. There are a lot of waterfalls on these Harishchandragad hills. These beautiful views attract a lot of tourists to Harishchandragad during the monsoons. Now we are halfway to Harishchandragad. There is another big waterfall on the way up. We are climbing the mountain through this mountain fold. Everyone will enjoy walking along this path with many mountains and waterfalls nearby. Today, the climate is favorable to us. Otherwise, like yesterday, we would have lost all these views in the rain and the mist. This area will be covered in the thick mist after some time, so we have to reach the top before dark. Many travelers are enjoying the waterfalls here. The water flowing over these rocks is very cold and crystal clear. But we have to be very careful when getting into the water. These rock patches are very slippery, and after that it's an abyss. Mountain ranges in Maharashtra are awesome in monsoons. Many waterfalls all over the rock faces in the mountains. In the valleys, a lot of beautiful green meadows. Many small tribal villages and settlements in the mountain folds. Most of them are traditional farming villages. Many travelers from various states come here to explore the Sahyadri mountain ranges every year. Let's keep walking to the peak. It's already evening and herds are returning from the mountains after grazing. There is yet another waterfall on the way up. In the monsoon, we can see a lot of waterfalls all over here. Once the monsoon is over, they will disappear and the mountain ranges will dry up quickly. After climbing this hill, a short walk will take us to the temple on the top. Before climbing the last hill, there is an arch bridge over a small stream. There is no rain today, so there is only less water in this stream. From here we can see a few small caves in the rock on the top. We can see more caves at Harishchandragad. After crossing the stream, we are now climbing the hill through a small forest. We are really tired now. In the last 6 days, we have crossed many mountains and hills like this. Finally, we reached Harishchandragad. There are a lot of tea stalls on the plain at the top and an ancient temple nearby. Sun has already set and it's getting dark here. The peak is already covered in the mist and it may be cold here at the night. So we have to find a place to pitch our tent for the night. We still haven't seen the main attractions of Harishchandragad. In the next episode, we will see the breathtaking views of Konkan Kada with the clouds flowing below the peaks and lush green meadows and hills on the way from here to Khireshwar village.